Hey gamers, and welcome back to my top 100, or not yet top 100, vintage games of all time. I am on the 10 that just missed out. Or did they? Did they just miss out? Or they're just not good enough? Because 110 I think fits that category. Curse of the Idol. This is one of those Milton Bradley adventure games that looks beautiful, looks gorgeous, but has a lot of problems in the rules. Luke from Down from the Attic fixed a lot of those rules, yet still as I play it, it just doesn't cut the mustard. I really wish this game was a lot better than it actually is. I have been tempted to trade it, but I do want to get something good in return because this game does cost a lot. But other than that though, Curse the Idol, sadly, I don't think will ever be in my top 100. Number 109, I combined 3 games in one. They're the Jurassic Park games. I play these with my little nephew every time he comes over, at least once or twice a year. When he comes over to spend the night, he wants to play these dinosaur games because he loves them, and so we play them. The first game is meh. It's just meh because it's basically just roll and move, and get, whenever a dinosaur stomps on you, you just retreat to another space. Oh well. The second one is broken because whoever is the dinosaurs will usually win. Now, he's younger, so I let him play the dinosaurs, and it does make a challenge for an adult to beat a kid when the dinosaurs clearly have the advantage in the Lost World game. Now in Jurassic Park 3, I will play the dinosaurs because the humans have an insane amount of power in the game, and they will always win. They will always win. I mean, even as I was playing my most ruthless, my nephew was able to win it out. He was like, wow, you almost killed all my people. I said, I know. If you could have run through the board a second time, I might have won. So the game is just lopsided on Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. And then Jurassic World, which is, I guess, balanced, but isn't that good. So it's all kind of a wash, but because they get played, they get on 109. 108 is the Dukes of Hazzard card game. This is kind of not going to be in my top 100 for a long time because I just don't play it. It's not good for 2 players, and I just don't know when we're going to bring out a Dukes of Hazzard card game with people. Not many people care about the IP anymore, and even though me and my wife would have fun playing it, it just doesn't get played. So for that reason, it's just going to hang outside my top 100. Number 107, and actually 106 and 105 and 104 are what I call the Disney afternoon games. 107 is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. This is a horrible roll and move, but it is Chip 'n Dale, and my wife and my nephews and nieces love playing these games. So these games do get played, but that's why they're kind of above all the other games, but they're still not that good. Next under that would be Darkwing Duck because it's not as annoying roll and move. 105 is Tailspin because it's a very fast roll and move. It's so easy to be a one and done with it. In fact, I mean, setting up the game takes no time, but then playing the game is like 2 minutes tops. And then finally, DuckTales is 104 because it probably, out of all these, has the most strategy because it is roll and move, but you're also moving villains that block the pass of the other players. So you're trying to move around these villains and move villains on top of other people. There's several paths to get to Launchpad McQuack's helicopter, which is what you're trying to do. And for the poco, small little bit of strategy, that's why this is 104. 103, this is very strange. It's Stargate, the board game. I totally didn't know I had this anymore. I thought it got lost. And when I moved, I found it in the closet. It was buried. I didn't take it with all my games. I guess it just got lost under some clothes or something. I was like, oh, here it is. And I was so excited. I was like, you know what? Let me play this game. Let's see if it's good. It's not very good. It's sad because the pieces look gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Each player has different molds and everything. The Stargates are the same, but the ships and the characters are different. In their thematic, it is a star. It's not just some generic pieces. They molded these to mimic Stargate, the TV show SG-1, which is one of my favorite TV shows too. But it's just roll, move, roll, fight. And there's a deck of cards, but there's only 6 different variations, or maybe 5. There's not that many variations of the cards, so all the cards are the same thing. There's not that, the replayability is a 0. And then I forgot, whoever doesn't fight, because you have to get so many sectors. but everyone's fighting over these sectors. Well, one person's going to find the sector that no one's fighting over, and he's going to win, because if he can control that sector in time, they've won. Peace is the way to win unless you play the max 6 players. Then everyone has to fight for land. But I'll never get 6 players to play Stargate, the board game. And I don't think it'll ever be in my top 100. Number 102 will probably not be in my top 100 either. It's Pirates Gold. I do like Pirates Gold. There is ships with magnets that can connect to the magnets underneath the sea. It's separated by a plastic covering, and you're trying to move and maneuver past this maze where sometimes there are these reefs that if you pass by them, it will take, the magnet is stuck on that reef, and the treasure chest will sink to the bottom. And it may be the shortest way back home, but it's not the correct way, because you'll cross over a reef and lose your treasure chest. And not all treasure chests are the same amount. So even though you may not have gotten as many as the other players, if your amounts are higher than them, you can still win the game, which that has happened too. This is a fun game, but the reason I really don't like it is because every time you roll, there's a chance, and it's a very good chance you get to screw a player out of getting their treasure chest. And this happens every roll. So everyone just takes turns knocking everyone else's treasure chest off or screwing other players so they can't get a treasure chest. So we made a rule that, I can't remember what it was. We made a rule that you can roll it maybe every other turn or something, because it was just getting too diabolical. I mean, there's too many bad things that could happen for it. And I wish the game didn't have that in it, because if it didn't, this would really be a solid game and would be in my top 100. But because of that, I don't think this game will ever hit my top 100. The only game that had a chance of getting in, always, every year, is my 101. Because every year, when I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty, I'm getting down to the last pick. Who will not be in my top 100? And does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. I think I made the right call. But my wife and I do enjoy the game, even though it is kind of roll and move. Well, play a card and move. It is Captain Crunch, the board game. And you have all the PVC Captain Crunch figures and villains that you would have in the cereal box at the time. My only problem is Sogmaster is a player you can play, but at the end of the game, you had to fight Sogmaster yourself. I have been looking on eBay for some cheap PVC Captain Crunch players so I can paint their feet, maybe green, yellow, red or something, to have 4 different players. I haven't. I don't look as much now, but I eventually would probably like to get some extra Captain Crunch PVC pieces, and that way play it where there's 4 Captain Crunches moving around the board. Now, we both love the cereal. My wife loves the game. There is a little bit of strategy, a lot of bit of luck in it. It's okay, and it doesn't mean this is the only game out of my entire list that I've mentioned so far that has a chance to get back into the top 100. Just because we do like the theme. And Vintage, I grade on a different scale here, because Vintage is a lot lighter, but that doesn't mean it's still not a fun game. Games don't always have to be these heavy, deep Euros for you to enjoy them. At least for me, they don't. All right, folks, that's it for now. Get ready, because we're going into the top 100 next time.